What makes relationships last?
Our relationship has had its ups and downs, but what we found is good communication holds everything together.
We decided to dedicate time every week to not only strengthen our relationship, but stimulate personal growth.
Strong relationships are built on strong communication.
Welcome to Date Night Conversations.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Date Night Conversations. I'm Chantel.
And I'm Greg.
And guys, in this video, Greg and I are going to ask each other 3 random questions that we have never asked each other before.
These questions are truly random. We have never seen them. When we pull them, we're reading them for the first time. You're hearing them for the first time.
We love to interact with you guys just to gain another perspective on the answers to these questions.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But half the fun for us is reading your responses after the video's posted.
Yes. All right, baby, ready to get into it?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm up first?
You're up.
Okay, first question. Let's see what we got, guys. Would you rather experience the beginning of the planet Earth or the end of planet Earth?
Weird. That's a random question for sure.
So random. So beginning of planet Earth or the end?
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's
because
really making me
in
think.
both cases, I don't think it was a survivable planet. Okay. There's a couple theories on what the end would be, and that's either the sun is gonna grow and then eventually engulf it.
Okay.
I think the Earth will reach demise before that happens, where it expands and the atmosphere is too thin to sustain life. So that's for humans, but I guess that wouldn't be the end of Earth because there would still be oceans and I don't know. Okay, or the beginning. How far in the beginning, when it's just like a molten rock and there's nothing on it?
Which one would you like to experience, love?
Let's go with the end one. I think there would just be a little more to
compare.
Imagine seeing if it was the sun that's going to eventually engulf, how big the sun would be in the sky. Like it would just be sun. That would be crazy. What would that be like at night? Would you really have a night? Would there be some kind of an effect because it's so big? I don't know.
So you're going with the end?
Random question. I think you almost have to know a little bit about what possibly could happen for it to even...
Well, you know way more than I do. And if I were to choose, I would just say the end just to see what the Earth looks like at the end. So I was saying compare and contrast. That's my answer.
Yeah. Compare and contrast?
Mm-hmm. So by that I mean like comparing Earth to what it was and what it isn't. Does that make sense?
Oh, so to see what it's become, ultimately.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think it would be neat to see earlier stages, like we're saying the beginning of the planet, but not the very, very beginning. But I think even pre-dinosaurs, but that there's early stages of life, like creatures on the planet. What did Earth look like back then?
There you go, compare and contrast at that point
right?
as well.
And then, again, way far into the future.
Yeah. Maybe some things would make sense today if you're able to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to say, if I had to pick the beginning or the end, I think the end also.
Okay.
Like, whoa, that happened? Crazy.
Exactly. That's kind of where my thoughts are going.
There's a second moon now? Who knows what could actually be?
Anything's possible.
Or so many like artificial things up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe weird. Okay, end.
All right, the end for me too.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's our answer. What we're going to do is throw it back to you guys, but let's read the question one more time.
Would you rather experience the beginning of planet Earth or the end of planet Earth?
All right, guys, this is random, but at the same time, it's still interesting.
Yeah.
So you guys know what to do. Drop a comment down below.
Maybe there'd be like a space station that still orbits Earth.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
Yeah, so you're up, babe.
All right. Question number 2.
Let's go.
Describe a trait you hate about one of your parents. In what way do you have this trait too?
Oh my goodness. Way to sell my parents out and myself here.
Describe, I'm going to keep this one close because I might have to reread that. Describe a trait you hate about one of your parents. In what way do you have this trait too? Oh man.
Okay. With my dad, he's very like OCD. Things have to be done in a certain manner or he'll get like super upset. So for example, when I used to take him grocery shopping, I would just put whatever on the belt.
Yeah, just take it to the cart, put it on the belt.
He would get so mad. It's like, no, let me do it. Because all the juices had to be with the juices. And all the apples had to be with the apples and fruit-like things. So then when he's looking at his bill, everything is lining up. And I'm like, who cares? So just to annoy him.
That's interesting. You can find things faster. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
I do it in a manner that, for bagging, these go good together, these go good together.
Yeah, he does it for that purpose as well.
Okay.
But I would just like try to piss him off, and I would just take something out of the cart and just throw it on. He's like, don't, Jesus, don't do that. And I'm just like, why does it matter? Where me, everything goes on. I don't care, and I just put it into the bag. I really don't care. I tried to separate things that can be damaged, like, you know, putting hard things on bread.
No, you really don't.
I do. I really do.
When you go grocery shopping,
really
you come home with mashed up bread and buns and bruised bananas.
Guys, no.
Okay.
That doesn't happen.
You can go to the Perfectly Blended channel, and we did a grocery shopping one. We took the kids to Walmart, and how I line stuff up in the cart, and even when I'm doing checkout, I need things passed a certain way because I like how I bag it.
You can probably see that more so in the grocery store one that we did without the kids. Yeah. However, either one, it don't matter. You bag things a certain way, and so do I. So that's one trait about my dad. He's very like OCD and like quick-tempered, and I find that I'm a little bit OCD. Like things have to be in a certain way when I come back from vacation, or I'll just get like antsy. Like I just keep looking at it and it bothers me. I don't think I'm as quick-tempered as he is. So I think it's just, yeah, it's the OCD from my dad. It's just the one thing.
Yours is kind of mild. You are particular about certain things, and it's weird and very like, it needs to be like this, but would be lax on something else that I would think is similar. I'm like, why that and not this? And I can't even question it. It's just, it is, and deal with it.
Sorry.
But yeah, I can totally see that from your dad. See, I don't hate any trait.
I was gonna say like, that from the get-go. I don't hate anything about my parents. But if it's something that I'd like to do differently or feel differently about, then it would be like the OCD with my dad. I just want to clarify that because I don't hate anything.
Okay. Yeah. I don't hate anything about either of my parents. You kind of just appreciate all the little quirks that they have.
Well, you were saying earlier on that you didn't like the beatings and stuff about your dad and how strict he was.
But that's interesting because he's not that anymore. Okay. So growing up, and that's probably in differences, journey through our childhood. My dad was very strict. I think excessively strict. That's the way he was brought up. Rules like Sunday is a day of rest. You stay home with your family, no television. We weren't allowed to hang out with our friends. Like we went to church with the family and then home with the family, read, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And children are to be seen and not heard. I heard that a lot. And just a lot of things that as a parent now, I think were very excessive. Like, yeah, we got discipline, we got the stick for what I would consider like minor things. In the end, I'm happy with who I am today, and I'm who I am because of that. Like that was a huge factor in my life. Same with my sister and brother. And the stories I get from my sister and brother, I think he was even more firm with them. Like there's some stuff that I don't know if I blocked it out. They said I was there, but I don't remember it. But it stuck with them and it was pretty traumatic for them. And they think the same. They'll say it's way too excessive. So if I wouldn't say hate, but I think you see where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Now, in what way do you have this trait too? I can say that there are some things where I probably blow up a little bit, like excessively, like I didn't have to take it that far or be that. But for me, it's just my voice. If I've had enough, I'll go from like I'll say it again, I'll say it like I give a chance, and then I'll go. I'll just have to use my dad voice, but that's the extent of it.
Yeah.
I think that's the closest thing to having a similar trait, but I think more so what I've done is I've learned from the experience, from receiving what I did from my father in terms of like discipline. And
sure.
I'm able to use that as if I were a kid in this position, how would I want to be treated? Like, what's a way that we can go about changing the behavior without being so aggressive?
Yeah.
So I'm able to more learn from the experience and manage it differently, I think. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
All right, guys, so that's our answer, but let's throw it back to you guys. But we'll read the question one more time. Describe a trait you hate about one of your parents. In what way do you have this trait too? All right, guys, you know what to do. Drop a comment down below.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving me a prompt for that one. My dad is not that person anymore. That's the craziest thing. So that was just an earlier part of my childhood till my parents got divorced, and then I think something about that experience changed him. Now he's totally opposite. Nicest, friendliest, happiest guy. He's like jolly. Really.
Yeah, he is.
You know, like you would not know when you met him. Wouldn't be the person that I described just then. But that's the person I remember up until I was about 12, something like that. Okay. Last question.
All right, moving on to the last question. I'm up.
It's yours.
All right. What compliments do you struggle to believe?
What compliments do I struggle to believe? Man, the standard compliments. I don't struggle as much anymore. If you tell me, you look good, or babe, you're so smart. I'm like, all right, you know?
Yeah.
Because when I think I've done bodybuilding. So I was a competitive bodybuilder for years. And I know when I would be competition ready, I would consider myself like, that looks good. So physically, I'm in the best looking shape when I'm like stage ready. So when you say, babe, you look good, I'm like, you look all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know how I could look.
Yeah.
And where I'm at is comfortable for me. So it's that balance between exercise, taking care of myself, being healthy, but still wanting to have the food that I want to eat or drink what I want to drink on occasion, and this becomes that balance. I look all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'll always be telling you, like, babe, you look good, you look great, and you're like...
So yeah, and I think I'm more accepting. You know what? I do look good. Okay. I can accept that. But I think throughout our relationship, it almost took time of you constantly saying it that I start to accept it. You help me feel better about myself. So to say compliments, what compliments, yes, more than one, do you struggle to believe? Oh, and I said the other one was smart. Yeah. Because you say I'm smart all the time. And I think it's just because I have interests in the most random things, so I have all this, just a variety of knowledge in my head.
That's good. I should have a variety of knowledge. Jeez. Okay, so for me, it'd be similar things to you. Actually, in the respect that when people are like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't see it. That girl over there is like gorgeous. And then another one is... Baby looks so good. You really do. You need to see it. Come on. I know that you don't see it the way I see it, but still. It's, if you think I look good, then you have to accept you look good also. Yeah, I already physically, told you. Facially, everything. You're beautiful. Oh, and then like... Oh, you're not going to accept that. I'm just like, anyways, moving on. I do accept See, it. That's your struggle right there. No, I'm just in thought. Right. I do accept it. If you have to accept it, I have to accept it too, of course. But it's, yeah, it's the belief thing, right? So it's just... What compliments do you struggle to believe? Is there another one? Oh, like, they'll say, like my teeth are, like, super straight, super white. I have a hard time believing that. They are! Come on, man. How white do you need them to be? They glow. Oh my god. You have beautiful teeth. Thank you. It's not just me that says those things either. I'm not your only complimenter. I guess it's just things I have in my head. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just like me. Like, when I've looked a certain way, physically, I compare myself to myself. So it's not even comparing myself to somebody else and saying, yeah, but I don't look like that. I think that looks good. It's just me to me. Yeah. Well, those are my two. It's okay. Like, yeah, beauty and my smile. Like, both are perfect. Well, thank you. And same with you. You're smart and you're beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, sweet guy, you. Okay. All right, guys. That's our answer. We're now going to throw the question back to you guys, but let's read it one more time.
What compliments do you struggle to believe?
Yes, guys, let us know. This one was kind of like a vulnerable one, putting ourselves like kind of out there.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see what our viewers say. All right, guys, you know what to do. Drop a comment down below. All right, so that was Date Night Conversations, episode 61.
61.
Yes.
Nice.
And we are so looking forward to interacting with you guys.
Absolutely. Please let us know your responses to these questions. Drop a comment down below.
Yes, guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.